What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Flame Entertainment and Sports. It's your boy Rob here. Hope everyone's doing good out there. On today's episode, it's going to be a shorter edition of the podcast. I'm going to try something new today. For each topic, I'm going to be putting a timer. And because nowadays people don't have their attention spans aren't super long. So I feel, in order to advance and gain more, viewership, I got to adapt to what people like. So it's going to be a shorter episode. I'm going to be, as always, starting in the entertainment world with some Dancing with the Stars talk, as we had a great episode. It was episode number 500 of Dancing with the Stars after a week off due to the election last week. It was great, to have Dancing with the Stars back on our TV screens. Then in the sports world, I'm going to be really, deep diving into the Dolphins as they finally picked up a victory after a 5-game losing streak. They beat the LA Rams in LA on Monday Night Football, and it was a great all-around, team win. With all that said, make sure to keep up with us on Instagram and TikTok at @theflame_ES. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. Leave a rating, a review, share with anyone you think would be, interested in hearing any of these topics. And yeah, let's get into this episode, starting off with episode 500 of Dancing with the Stars. Alright guys, so to start off with Dancing with the Stars, we had a great episode, 6 couples left coming into this 500th episode of the show. Congratulations to, everyone who's been part of Dancing with the Stars, an amazing milestone to hit 500 episodes, especially when you think of today's climate with how, network ratings have gone down so much over the years due to, all these streaming services and companies, right? Coming about, like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Peacock, and the list goes on. I feel like there's a new streaming service every other week, basically, at this point. So the fact that they've been able to retain that viewership, and this season multiple times they've hit record numbers in terms of the amount of votes coming in per episode. So it's just amazing to see that they've been able to climb their way through and keep fighting. Obviously, there's been change. There's been different hosts. There's been different showrunners, different producers behind the scenes, and throughout it all, they've been able to keep it afloat. And it's just an amazing accomplishment for Dancing with the Stars. So congratulations to all of them. With that said, it was a great episode. We started off with individual couples as always, and then the second edition or second round for each couple was the instant dance round, which they hadn't done, I believe, since season 19. And basically, the instant dance round, like each couple was, they picked out of a bowl, they picked a card, and it gave them the type of dance, and they had to learn that dance on the spot. They had a little over 5 minutes to come up with a choreography. So that was the second round of Dancing with the Stars. With that said, I'm going to change up. Usually, I go couple by couple, kind of go in depth with my thoughts on each. How I'm going to do it today, I'm going to be giving my scores as always, and, the actual scores each couple received. I'm going to be picking like my top 2 couples of the night. So yeah, with that said, the first couple of the night was my second favorite couple of this 500th episode. That was Joey and Jenna. I thought they did a great job with this dance. They've been one of the elite couples throughout the whole season, and that continued on episode number 500. I gave them a 28 out of 30, and they received a 28 from the judges, which actually shocked me because most of the time my scores and the judges' scores are usually way off. So the fact that we started on the same number for the first couple, it was pretty interesting to me. So yeah, Joey and Jenna get a 28. Then we moved on to Danny and Whitney. I gave them a 24. I wasn't really super impressed by this dance. I think they've had so many elite dances that this one didn't really do it for me. With that said, the judges liked it more than I did, so good for them. They got a 27. Then Dwight and Daniela went. I thought they had a pretty good dance. Was it their best dance? No. But I would say it was probably like their second or third best dance. I gave them a 26, and that's exactly what they received from the judges. Then we move on to my favorite dance of that night, which was by Steven and Riley. They danced to an amazing song. I mean, an amazing dance. Sorry, I don't know why. An amazing song. They danced an amazing dance, Steven and Riley. It was more of a proper style of dance, and I think Steven was able to adapt. Obviously, we're used to seeing him more, happy-go-lucky and more with the facials and stuff like that. But it was a style of dance that you got to be more serious and more, technically on point in terms of like your movement and your shoulders and everything like that. And I thought Steven and Riley did such a great job. I gave them a perfect 30 out of 30, and they received a 29 out of 30 from the judges. After Steven and Riley, we had Chandler and Brandon, who have been an absolutely, elite couple from week one. I gave them a 28 out of 30, and they received a perfect 30 out of 30 from the judges, the only perfect score of the night. Then the final couple of the night was Ilona and Alan. I thought this was Ilona and Alan's best dance, and it's so encouraging that Ilona and Alan continue to get better week in and week out. And the fact that they just had their best dance heading into the semifinals, I think they're a dark horse to win this whole competition. I gave Ilona and Alan a perfect 30 out of 30. They received a 28 from the judges, their best scores of the season so far. Then to move on to the instant dance round, I'm going to, once again, be going couple by couple, but doing the same thing, like letting you guys know my top two couples of the instant dance round. To start off, this was my second favorite, or tied for first. I had two couples here tied for first in terms of my favorite instant dance round. And that first couple was Joey and Jenna. They started off the instant dance round, and I thought they did an amazing job. You would have thought that they had been practicing this for a while, and the fact that they made it up on the spot and made it look so good was very impressive. I gave Joey and Jenna a 30. They received a 27 from the judges. Then we had Danny and Whitney, who I think their instant dance was a lot better than their actual dance of the night. I gave them a 28 out of 30, and they received a 24 from the judges. Then we had Dwight and Daniela dance a paso doble. I gave them a 25. They received a 22. Then Steven and Riley did a jive. I gave them a 28, and they received a 25 from the judges. Then we had Chandler and Brandon, who were tied with Joey and Jenna for me as my favorite instant dance round couple of the night. I gave Chandler and Brandon a perfect 30 out of 30, and that's exactly what they received from the judges. So they, in both of their dances, Chandler and Brandon received 30s, perfect scores. And Brandon even mentioned it after this one that throughout his whole time on the show, he's been on the show for a long time, he has never gotten a perfect score. And he got his, first two perfect scores on the same night. So congratulations to Brandon and Chandler on that. Then the final instant dance round couple was Ilona and Alan. They danced a pretty good salsa. I really enjoyed it. I gave them a 26, and they got a 24 from the judges. Now we move on to the final portion of the night, the eliminated couple. My prediction, for some reason, my gut feeling in the last commercial break right ahead of the elimination results was Danny and Whitney, which shocks a lot of people, probably, me saying that, but I just go with my gut in that last commercial break. I was wrong, as Dwight and Daniela were eliminated from the competition. And now we're down to the final 5 couples, 2 episodes left. And, next week's going to be a big test. Obviously, to me, this has been one of the most competitive seasons in the history of Dancing with the Stars. And, 5 couples left. Once again, we have Joey and Jenna, Danny and Whitney, Steven and Riley, Chandler and Brandon, and Ilona and Alan. I think all these couples, honestly, I'm being completely honest, I believe you can make a case for each of them in terms of being able to win this competition this season. I just think each couple is so good. And not only are they good, they get better and better as time goes on. So it's very impressive. And I literally think they all have a shot to win this, competition in season 33 of Dancing with the Stars. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my talk and, all my thoughts on episode 500 of Dancing with the Stars. Once again, congratulations to everyone over there who's been part of Dancing with the Stars all these years. And yeah, can't wait for, the next 500 episodes to come. And can't wait especially for next week's semi-final episode of Dancing with the Stars live on ABC and Disney Plus, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to tune in. And make sure to tune in to the Flame Entertainment and Sports next week as I give my thoughts on the semifinals. All right, guys, now to get into what I want to talk about in the sports world. As I mentioned in the intro, Miami Dolphins finally, after losing 5 straight games, finally pick up a big W on the road in Los Angeles against the Rams. Dolphins win 23-15. They improved to 3-6. The Rams, after winning 3 straight games, they fought a 4-5 on the year. It was a complete team victory for the Dolphins in this one. Obviously, just to win in general, it was an amazing feeling, especially after, such a long losing streak. But what's encouraging is that the Dolphins showed improvement in many areas that they've been lacking in. They showed adjustments in the coaching staff. I want to really shout out Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator. I've been kind of hard on him this season because I feel that he runs a lot of the same things. Even if it doesn't work, he keeps doing it each and every game. And this game, he finally adjusted. And what I haven't liked that he's ran throughout the year is a lot of zone coverage. I'm more of a man-to-man type of, more of a fan of man-to-man coverage. And this game, he was able to mix it up. He changed his ways. He didn't just stick to the zone coverage. There was a lot of plays where he would put Ramsey close to the receiver, and then he'd drop back Kendall Fuller. And I think Anthony Weaver did a tremendous job calling the defense for the Dolphins against, a great Rams offense led by one of the best coaches in the league, Sean McVay, one of the best quarterbacks in Matthew Stafford, some great receivers in Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and then, of course, an amazing running back in Kyron Williams. So I think it was a super impressive performance by Anthony Weaver. Then to talk about some of the players, we had 3 starters return for the defense on this one who I missed the last 2 games. That was number 92, Zach Sealer, the defensive tackle. He made a huge impact in his first game back from that eye injury that he suffered a couple weeks ago in practice. As always, he just made a huge impact as he always does. And then in the secondary, I think these guys need to get some credit as well. Javon Holland, the safety, number 8, and number 4, the cornerback, Kader Kohu. They obviously made some sort of impact back there because this did not look like the same defense that we had seen in the previous 2 games against the Bills and the Cardinals. So, a lot of praise and congratulations, right, to the defensive staff and all the players for getting the job done. Now they have another, AFC, not another, wow. Now they have a, a battle here at home against AFC offense, led by Gardner Minshew, the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think the guy you really need to keep an eye on that offense for the Raiders is Jacoby Myers. He's one of the most consistent receivers in the whole NFL. Super underrated. Obviously, the Raiders aren't playing great, so you're not really going to hear about him in terms of in the media or national. You're not going to get that national coverage that other guys get on better teams. But Jacoby Myers is a hell of a receiver. He's a guy to keep your eye on. Obviously, the rookie tight end, Brock Bowers, he's a tremendous player. Even as a rookie, he looks like a veteran out there, so we got to keep our eyes on him. He's kind of like a Trey McBride, who we played 2 weeks ago from Arizona. So we got to keep an eye on those guys. But other than that, if they keep doing what they did against the Rams, and if Anthony Weaver is willing to adjust his play calling style like he did with LA, I think we'll have a chance against any offense in the league. And then to move to the offensive side of the ball, I thought it was an improved performance by Mike McDaniel. I think he did a great job with his play calling. I'm more of a run first type of guy. What I liked what McDaniel did, because we did throw a lot in this game. Like Tua, had a lot of throwing opportunities in this game. But what I liked is that McDaniel was more creative than he has been in a very long time. For example, doing some sweeps and doing some crazy double reverse fakes and all that. I thought that was very smart, and I think McDaniel should continue to implement that and be a little more creative. And I think McDaniel did a great job in this one. To read some of the offensive numbers, Tua, he went 20 for 28, 207 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And then, in the running department, not much went on. We ran in total 22 times for 67 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown came on a 18-yard carry by a rookie wideout, Malik Washington. Congratulations to him on his first career touchdown. In the receiving department, a lot of guys were able to get involved. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 different receivers catch passes in the receiving department. So Tua was able to get the ball out to a lot of different guys, which I think when you look at most of the great teams in the league every year, they're able to involve a lot of guys, not just 1 or 2 guys. So I think that was a big help in this one. And just overall, great team effort. Read a couple of the defensive stats for you all. Jordan Brooks, the linebacker, he had 11 tackles in the game. Anthony Walker, the local guy out of Pace, he had his first interception as a Dolphin. Jalen Ramsey had a great game. I already mentioned Zach Sealer. Now to mention his partner in crime, Calais Campbell, 17 years in the league, 38 years old. He had an amazing performance in this one, and he's had an incredible season so far with the Dolphins, and he's just an absolute legend. So shout out to Calais Campbell. all about the U. But yeah, some other guys to mention who I think were some X factors on the defense. The first round pick out of Penn State, Chop Robinson, and then Quentin Bell, former practice squad member last year. He had a huge play where he knocked the ball out of Stafford's hands in this one, and then Chop Robinson, the rookie, you see him getting better with more opportunity as time goes on. He just keeps getting better week in and week out. So it was a great, all around team effort, all around team win. And yeah, it's gonna wrap up my thoughts on the Dolphins' 23-15 win over the Rams, and now they move on. Sunday, come home, Hard Rock Stadium, and host the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Flame Entertainment and Sports. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Flame_ES. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to this episode. Share it with anyone you think would be interested in hearing about any one of these topics. Until next time, everyone, take care.